Good morning. I thank you for all your notes. There are many people in much more difficult situations in life, for certain, without any comparison. You can see all the bees at work preparing your honey. There's a complicated problem for me. I forgot to turn off the Wi-Fi. I'm going to do that now. And then just be ready. Well, we actually have more people than when I cut off the Wi-Fi. So maybe a bunch of people came in. Duking out and go out into the deep. And the deep can be complicated. The deep can be complicated. We can be afraid. We need help. We need friends. We need connections, relationships. And our readings today are all about relationships. Well, actually, the whole of religion is about relationship because it's recognizing that there's a source of our life. Especially the biblical-based religion is really one big conversation. More than a conversation, it's a real connection. It's confessing, recognizing that somebody created us, somebody who is almighty, all-powerful, who did this out of love for us. A very different worldview than the mythologies. And did with great intelligence, great beauty, great love, great detail, great majesty, spectacular. And we're still discovering it after all these thousands and thousands of years, with all the new discoveries science makes. And we know ourselves to be in a relationship with God, our Creator. And we know that this relationship is also strained or damaged because our hearts are mixed up a bit. I'm just looking for the moon up there. There you have it. Getting smaller each day. Now we have seen this 3 days in a row, I think, at this point. At different times. I'm later on the job today. But that happens now and again. It was around here yesterday. We heard that siren at the end of yesterday's live stream and I cut it short. And thanks be to God, last night there weren't any sirens. At least I didn't hear any. And I understand somebody sent me a note and said there wasn't any damage that they're aware of. So peace isn't the absence of aggressive war. Peace is justice. And we pray for that, so that without justice we can't have peace. When there's injustice, the human spirit will remain very restless. obviously people can break peace as well. Even if a society is trying within all the limitations of reality to practice a kind of fairness and justice, it's always a work in progress. Look at all these birds. And they turn black when they go over there. Up here they're white and then they turn black. Well, they're always white, it's just that when they're the other side of the light, their white shows up. And here we have this. No, they're different ones. They're like cormorants. Oh boy, look at all these white ones up here on top of the tree. There are some trees that they have killed up in the turn-in for Bethsaida, just east of the Jordan River Bridge. And we're at the Jordan River there. There are trees that are growing alongside it. And they just do all their droppings on the same spot all the time. And it seems that they have been the cause of killing those trees. Interesting how trees can be a beautiful perch for a bird, and a bird can be a beautiful delight on a tree. But when it's overdone, so we were speaking about religion, you know, ligament is it ties pieces of our body together, and religament is to tie it back, to retie us who have come forth from the Creator back to the Creator. And it's an effort to be in touch. And Abraham heard that call, come and trust me. And sure enough, he became a new beginning from the root of humanity in the Mesopotamian region, Ur of Chaldea, and he started off a whole new history in relationship. And since then we call him also the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob. We call Jacob our father in the faith. It's all about relationships. Now these flowers are going into, in general, a more wilting stage. Their beautiful heyday is over, but they're moving on to fruitfulness. The splendor was at Pentecost. You see all the fruitfulness. These are the pods from last year. So those flowers become these big, black, long pods with seeds inside them. And these ones are open. The seeds have fallen out. All the process of life. And there's a bunch of seeds. And the one up there that's open is easy to see them. You see that one that's open up there? Good. Well, there's one closer to us here, but all the seeds have fallen out. The life cycle of these flowers. Walking among the trees. So in all our relationships then, our faith, our connection with God is relationship and between each other. In families, we start out in creation where we start out, and it's more than a day's work, it's a whole lifetime work. The pump just reactivated here, taking water out of the site. I'm sorry, there was a breakdown in the communication. It was still going at 4G. I'm not sure what happened, I apologize. So we have this great prayer of the Our Father. Every word in it is such a treasure. Every word is such a gift. Some great spiritual giants have said that there's really no prayer that's not contained in it. Give us this day our daily bread. That's about all our existential needs. Forgive us our trespasses when we put our foot in it all the time. Keep us out of trouble. Lead us not into temptation. Deliver us from evil. Which means that evil is around, inescapably so. To be delivered from evil, that we don't reach a utopia, but that how we deal with evil, that evil doesn't get a grip of us, of our hearts, of our minds. A hatred, a revenge, a deceitfulness, a greed, a covetousness. That the personal relationships are way above all of that. They are really to adore. Hallowed be thy name. They are to collaborate with the coming of the kingdom. Thy kingdom come. To fulfill the great plan of our Creator. Thy will be done. On earth as it is in heaven. And in the difficulties and meanders of the relationships Paul has with the community in Corinth, it's a great text, a very human text, a text filled with pleas, pleading for their understanding, for their recognition, his own generosity with them and his relationship not to be a burden for them. A wonderful human motive. Not to be a burden for others, to work, to be upright and honest, to be a servant, to be a blessing, to be a helper for others, to be a messenger of good news. What a great service. His network of relationships that allowed him to be so generous there, others who supported him in his efforts for them. All this network of relationships in which we live. All of our families, all of our communities, all of our societies, and nowadays the whole world, because our food comes from all over the world, our clothes, our materials, transport has become so possible, so easy. Somebody said now they're planning travel from one town to the other side of the globe in 45 minutes using space equipment that goes out to space. And you can do a 45-minute trip from New York to Tokyo. And they can carry 200 tons. So in a certain sense, that if that dream comes true, it's just another evidence of how closely knit we are as a human family and how out of place are our hostilities and hatreds. We're deeply connected and we need to work for healthy connections. That great will not to be a burden on the other, to be a servant of the other, to bring others together, to help each other. Let's leave it like that for today, people. God bless you. See you later, alligators. Let's keep praying. Every prayer counts. This relationship with our Creator is important. All of us contribute to peace on earth.